Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name is Josh, and in today's video we're going to be reviewing the US Bank Cash Plus credit card. So I'm going to be going over the main features of this credit card, its pros as well as its drawbacks. So hopefully by the end of this video you should have a much better idea of whether or not this credit card is a good fit for you. But before we go ahead and dive into the main features of this credit card, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Also, if you would like to receive a few free stocks while helping out my channel as well, in a pinned comment below as well as in the description box, I will leave a couple of different links where you can receive just that. Okay, so jumping right into the main features of this card, first off, there is a $200 spend bonus as long as you're able to spend at least $1,000 within the first 120 days from your account opening. So on average, that's going to be right around $250 per month, which for most people, that's not going to be too difficult. Now, in addition to that spend bonus, you can also earn a lot of cash back with this credit card. So currently how it's set up is they have a 5% cash back category, actually a couple of different 5% cashback categories that you actually get to choose every single quarter. And then there's going to be a 2% cashback category. This one you also get to choose as well. And then on all other transactions, you're going to be earning just 1% cashback. So the 5% categories, once again, you get to pick two of them. And from these two categories, you get to choose from fast food, home utilities, TV, internet and streaming, department stores, cell phones, electronic stores, sporting goods stores, movie theaters, gym or fitness centers, furniture stores, ground transportation, or select clothing stores. So again, those are your 5% cashback categories. You get to choose two of them every single quarter. And then as far as the 2% cashback categories go, you get to choose one of these every single quarter, and you get to choose between grocery stores and grocery delivery, restaurants, gas stations, and EV charging stations. And again, on all other transactions, you are going to be earning just 1% cash back. Now keep in mind, it's going to be super important to choose these categories every single quarter, because if you forget to choose them on all transactions, unfortunately, you will only be earning 1% cash back. So this credit card is going to require a good bit of maintenance. Now, other than the spend bonus and all the cashback opportunities that you will have with this card, starting out for the first 15 months, you will have a 0% intro APR on both purchases and balance transfers. So if you have a lot of larger transactions coming up that you would like to pay off slowly over time, you can definitely take advantage of that factor by slowly paying off that transaction over the first 15 months before you'll have to start paying interest. Also, of course, you can take advantage of the balance transfer offer. So if you have a larger balance that you're paying a lot of interest on every single month with another credit card, you could perhaps consider transferring that balance over to this one. And for the first 15 months, you will have a 0% intro APR. Of course, that is not financial advice, but it is something that you could definitely consider. In addition to that, you'll also receive some other benefits with this credit card. So for example, you can receive 5% cash back on prepaid air, hotel, and car reservations booked directly in the Rewards Travel Center. And you also have flexible redemption options, so you can get your cash back as a statement credit, a rewards card, or directly deposit it into your US Bank checking or savings account. Now keep in mind, there is a minimum of $25 to redeem. So unlike other credit cards where you can redeem as little as say like 1 or 2 pennies, with this one, you will need to reach $25 before you can redeem any of that cash back. In addition to that, if you love wholesale clubs and you've been considering signing up for Costco, there's something for you in this as well. So for a limited period of time, you can get a $30 digital Costco shopping card when you purchase a new Costco membership with your Visa card on Costco.com and enroll in auto renewal on your Costco membership by August 31st of 2023. Okay, so now that we went over the main features of this credit card, it's time to go ahead and dive into the APR and fees, because remember, this is also super important as well. Now, like I mentioned earlier on, for the first 15 months on both purchases and balance transfers, you are going to have a 0% intro APR. However, after those 15 months are up, that is going to, of course, shoot up. So you definitely don't want to keep a balance on there. So after that, it is going to jump up anywhere between 19.49 to 29.49% based on your credit worthiness. That's going to be for both purchases and balance transfers. Now for cash advances, the APR is going to be even higher at 29.99%. And that's one of the many reasons why on this channel, I strongly recommend staying far, far away from cash advances, because not only that, but you're also going to be paying a fee of either 5% of the amount of each cash advance or $10, whichever happens to be greater. So I would definitely recommend staying far away from cash advances unless you absolutely have to, but I would definitely avoid them at all costs. Now, as far as some other fees go, if you happen to pay late, there is going to be a fee of up to $41. A return payment is going to be up to $41 as well. And if you happen to travel abroad, this is a card that you'll probably want to leave back at home, because if you do happen to use it abroad, unfortunately, there is going to be a foreign transaction fee of 3%. Now, thankfully, every single year to have this credit card, you do not have to pay any fee. There are no annual fees with this credit card, so that's a great thing. Every single year of having this credit card, you don't have to really sit down and figure out whether the benefits you're receiving are really worth paying a fee, because there is no fee with this credit card. So that's really great as well. So now that we went over the main features of this card, the APR and the fees, now I'm going to talk about what I would consider to be the biggest pros and drawbacks of this card. So starting out, we're going to be discussing the good things about this card. First off, of course, it is that $200 bonus as long as you're able to spend at least $1,000 within the first 4 months of having this card. Again, on average, it's going to be around $250 per month in order to reach the $1,000 within the first 120 days, which again, for most people is not going to be too difficult to achieve. So that $200 spend bonus is definitely within reach. Also, you have a lot of cash back opportunities. Again, you get to pick 2 categories where you're going to be earning 5% cash back every single quarter, and then 1 category where you can earn 2% cash back in. So if those categories you actually spend a lot in, you can earn a lot of cash back in those categories. Now, as far as the drawbacks go, even though you do get to pick 2 categories in which you can receive 5% cash back in, and 1 category in which you can receive 2% cash back in, while that may seem great, this credit card also requires a lot of maintenance, because every single quarter you have to select the categories in which you're going to be receiving 5% and 2% cash back in. Because remember, if you don't do that, if you don't go on there and manually select which categories that you want to receive this cash back in, unfortunately, instead of receiving 5 or 2% cash back, you're only going to be receiving 1% cash back. So you're going to be missing out on a lot of cash back opportunities if 1 quarter goes by and your mind slips up and you forget to go in there and select your category. So this credit card does require a lot of maintenance. Unfortunately, that is a drawback of this credit card, but it's not really that big of a deal if you remember to go in there. Secondly, of course, if you do happen to travel abroad, again, this is a credit card that you will want to leave back at home, simply because there is a 3% foreign transaction fee with this credit card. And thirdly, the fact that in order to redeem your rewards, there is going to be a minimum redemption of $25 for cash back. With other credit cards like Capital One or Chase, you can have 1 cent, 2 cents, 50 cents. Doesn't really matter. There is no minimum redemption with a credit card company like Capital One. With this one, again, it is going to be $25. So that is one of the other many drawbacks of this credit card. But all in all, I would definitely say this is a pretty decent credit card. Just the fact that you are going to be earning a pretty easy spend bonus of $200, and you're going to be receiving those 5% cashback categories plus the 2% cashback category. As long as you don't mind going in every single quarter and selecting those categories, and it's not going to be like a hardship for you, then I would say this credit card is pretty worth it, just because there is not an annual fee. However, for those people who really just prefer simplicity, this credit card may not be for you, because having to go in every single quarter and having to select those categories might just be too much of a pain. Instead, you might want to opt for another credit card such as the Citi Custom Cash Card, where you're going to be receiving 5% cash back automatically in your top spending eligible category. But that's all I have for today's review. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.